What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. So, we got some new information here coming out here that the pandemic may have started with raccoon dogs. That's right, out of Wuhan, China. The question that first strikes me is what is a raccoon dog? Yeah, have you ever seen a raccoon dog? And I have an initial thought, but take a look at this, and then we'll answer some more questions here. Yeah.
New report on the possible origins of COVID-19. An international team of scientists reportedly finding genetic links tying the pandemic to another animal in Wuhan, China. It raises even more questions now about other COVID theories, including a possible lab leak. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, new evidence that COVID-19 may have originated from natural animal to human transmission after new analysis suggests a link from the virus to raccoon dogs at China's Wuhan market.
This is another big brick in a huge wall of evidence pointing to this market as the epicenter and to wildlife as the source of this pandemic.
The findings first reported by The Atlantic after researcher Michael Warby and a group of scientists analyzed new data uploaded just days ago into a global database by researchers at China's CDC. That data including swab samples taken in and around Wuhan market back in January of 2020.
We found some pretty interesting things, including raccoon dog and other mammal DNA in samples that have SARS-CoV-2.
The preliminary findings and data not yet published or peer-reviewed. Tonight, the WHO and experts say the findings are strong evidence, but do not prove conclusively raccoon dogs transmitted the virus to humans or had COVID-19 themselves.
These data do not provide a definitive answer to the question of how the pandemic began.
The news coming amid fierce debate over where the virus came from. The Department of Energy now joining the FBI, saying with low confidence they suspect the pandemic most likely started with a lab leak in China.
This is raising questions again about transparency. When it comes to the origin of COVID, Chinese researchers reportedly uploaded that data and then for some reason took it down after that international team was able to analyze it. The WHO is now calling for China to release any and all information relating to COVID-19 and its origin.
Yeah. So the question is, a lot of questions here. Will China give us any answers? Secondly, raccoon dog was in this market, so were people consuming this? Were people eating this animal in China? I, I'm as flabbergasted as you hearing this. What is going on over there? Um, yeah. I cringe at even hearing the thought of that. You guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. Um, yeah, and honestly, that could be the 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 origin there because the lab leak theory is obviously a very likely theory, but also if they're eating weird animals over there, which is a very likely cause as well, um, you got to think some of these weird strains of animals, for lack of a better word there, could be also carrying weird diseases. You think about raccoons over here carry rabies and stuff like that. You surely wouldn't want to go and eat a raccoon, right? But if you were to, you could catch rabies. It's kind of common sense, right? So that's why you wouldn't go eat a raccoon, right? Even if like you were living in the wild, like let's say you were like, a naturist, or you were homeless, or something like that. You see these shows where like they live in the wild and stuff like that. Like the show Alone or something like that. I've watched. Me and my wife have watched that. We kind of like that show. You wouldn't probably go eat a raccoon. And if you did, you see that sometimes, they go hunting and stuff like that. If you did eat something like that, you would cook it very, very well. Like you see some of these like questionable animals, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cook that very well done to make sure there's no parasites or anything like that in there. Yeah, hey, I'm just saying, right? Um, because again, some of these things are very questionable. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Do you think this was a source of the virus, raccoon dog? Did you even know that existed? Yeah, it's literally a cross between a raccoon and a dog. They said a relative of the fox. Hey, you learn something new every day. Also, kind of just to give you some more background here on this, an international team of virus experts said here that they had found genetic data from the market in Wuhan, China, linking the virus with raccoon dogs for sale there. Yeah. Adding evidence to the case that the worst pandemic in the century could have been ignited by an infected animal that was dealt through the illegal wildlife trade. Yeah, and again, if it's at this market, it's not like something couldn't have been done about this. If it's literally at a market, it's out in the public. They could have done something about this, but they chose not to. The genetic data was drawn from swabs taken from in and around Hunan Seafood Wholesale Market. Starting in January 2020, shortly after Chinese authorities had shut down the market because of suspicions that it was linked to the outbreak of a new virus. But by then, the animals had been cleared out after the virus was already starting to spread. But researchers swabbed the walls, floors, metal cages, and carts, often used for transporting animal cages. The samples then came back positive for the virus. The international research team found genetic material belonging to animals, including large amounts that were a match for a raccoon dog. 3 scientists involved in the analysis said. The jumbling together of genetic material from the virus and the animal does not 100% prove that a raccoon dog itself was infected. And even if a raccoon dog had been infected, it would not be clear that it was that specific animal that spread the virus to the people. Another animal could have passed the virus to the people, or someone infected with the virus could have spread the virus to the raccoon dog. But the analysis did establish the raccoon dog, fluffy animals that are related to foxes and known to be able to transmit this specific virus, deposited genetic signatures in the same place where the genetic material from the virus was left. 3 different scientists said. That evidence, they said, was consistent with a scenario in which the virus had spilled into humans from a wild animal. Now, is this a smoking gun? Is this better than a lab leak theory? It sounds like a pretty good theory. Well, actually, they have actual samples from this market. The question here is, had the virus spread already from a leaked lab from Wuhan and already started to spread and had gotten into the market after a leaked lab? So the question here is, was it spreading and had gotten to the market and was already spreading around the city? Or was this the origin point that maybe an infected animal was brought into the market and then started spreading? So maybe. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I will keep you up to date here. So if you appreciate these videos, don't forget to hit the like button for us and make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel every day here, and click the bell icon so you get notifications. Here is some videos you should watch next. Here is some big news for Social Security and Medicare. And here is a video about missile strikes on the US, which is pretty shocking. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.